interpreter at the Marshlands Museum located at Lake Erie Metropark. And today I'm super excited to talk with you about this snake right here. And this is our eastern fox snake, which is a snake that can easily be seen at Lake Erie Metropark. But before I get into all the cool facts about this snake, I want to go over some characteristics of reptiles with you. So the first characteristic we'll talk about is that all reptiles have scales. So if I bring our fox snake closer to the camera here, you can see all the really cool dark brown and light brown coloring that it has to its scales. The second characteristic I want to go over with you is that reptiles are cold-blooded. So what does that mean when we say that they're cold-blooded? What it means is that reptiles, like our eastern fox snake, rely on the environment to warm their bodies up or cool them down. So for example, if it's 80 degrees outside, this is going to be an 80-degree snake. If it's 50 degrees outside, this is going to be a 50-degree snake. When their bodies are nice and warm, that allows them to do the functions they need to do to survive properly, things like digesting their food and looking for prey. If it's too cold outside, they won't be able to do that, but they need to find a way to warm their bodies up. So they might lay out in the sun, or they might go underneath some leaves or a log to help warm them up. So now that we've got those characteristics out of the way, let's talk about some cool facts about our eastern fox snake. Now the eastern fox snake gets its name from the orange coloring on top of its head. So you can see that there. It looks very similar to the orange fur color of our red fox. So that's how the eastern fox snake got its name. Now, the second thing I want to say is that these guys are not venomous. So they don't have fangs and they don't have venom. They don't use those two things to capture their prey. So then how do they capture their prey? Well, they do that by constriction. So our eastern fox snakes are constrictors, and what that means is that once they grab their prey using their mouth, they'll take their body and wrap it really tight around their prey and squeeze until that prey is no longer alive. Once that prey is no longer alive, they will swallow it whole and then they go on to the next meal. The way they find their meal is by using their tongue, and they use their tongue as a way to smell, which is kind of different than how me and you do it, right? We use our noses, but they use their tongues. So you may have noticed his tongue is kind of going in and out of his mouth, and what he is doing is that he's collecting all of the smells that are in the air. Once he collects those smells on his tongue, he rubs it on the roof of his mouth, and that sends information to his brain saying, ooh, that smells like food, or no, that doesn't smell like food. These guys like to eat small mammals. They like to eat mice, moles, and voles. So that's what they like to go after. Now, if you notice, this snake is very calm in my hands. The way that he's behaving on my arm is the way that he behaves out in the wild. Eastern fox snakes are very calm, non-aggressive species. But every once in a while, if they feel threatened, what they do is that they'll take their tail and hit it really hard and fast on the ground. And that sounds like a rattle. But if I show you his tail, there is no rattle on that tail. So a lot of the times he gets confused for a rattlesnake, but we know that it's not. The last thing I want to share with you is that eastern fox snakes are a threatened species in Michigan. And what that means is that their population is declining. And the main reason for that is habitat loss. These snakes, they are found on the eastern part of Michigan and only there. So if I hold my hand up to resemble Michigan here, where I'm running my finger along is where they're found. And so these guys, they like to be in places like marshes. They like to be where it's wet. So the best way for us to keep eastern fox snakes around is to preserve habitats like our marshes. I hope you enjoyed what you learned today about eastern fox snakes. Thanks for hanging out with me this afternoon, and we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.